Welcome cartoonists. We've got another request today. Wanted somebody to be playing drums, but instead of somebody I've got something. I've got a polar bear playing some drums because I thought that'd be really cool, like 30 degrees below, kind of cool. So start off with what I'm sure will be a bit of a wobbly circle like mine. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be being played pretty hard, so it is going to be shaking around a little bit, so don't worry about getting it a bit shaky. So this is basically how a set of drums is arranged. So if you just follow me on this, I've got a little line just going behind that big bass drum in the middle, two slightly curved lines and a line going down, and that's the drum on one side of the kit. We can add all the details later, we're just putting the basics in for now. Okay, so there's another rectangle there. There's another drum. I think that's a snare drum. I don't know the names of them all. But we can add all the detailed bits and pieces in a minute. If you just follow me on this, a little square on the top of there, and that's something that kind of clamps onto the top of that big bass drum. And it's like a little bracket there that attaches two drums on the top. So it doesn't really matter how you draw that, it's just like a metal bracket that holds on these two drums that are higher up. So we just do a line either side. And if you want to make it look a bit more cartoony, a couple of curved lines. So curve up and down, up and then down, and close it at the end. And it's starting to come together a little bit. And I like drawing drum kits because they're a real fun way of shading them, which I'll show you in a minute. So because that's at an angle, if you do that line going the other way, we can sort of see inside the drum a little bit, and that'll become more clear when we come to shading. Up here is a symbol, so around about there, it doesn't matter exactly where, you got a curved line. Now just below that curved line, around about the middle of that curved line, you've got two straight lines coming down. That's the bar that holds that symbol in place. So just a simple join there, just a big black dot, and then you can work your way down with two more lines, because you can adjust it for the angle of that symbol. Then we'll just close the ends, and you don't quite see the back of that symbol because it's hidden by that bar. So we're moving on quite rapidly here. Hope I'm not going too quickly for you. On this side, another symbol, and again it doesn't matter exactly where, as long as it's somewhere around there. Okay, a couple of lines coming down again, more bars holding it in place. And just close that top there, and round the back of that bar goes that symbol. And once we start shading, it'll really start taking shape. It's a nice little challenge, this, drawing a drum kit, because if you like this, and if you let me know you like it, we can draw maybe a penguin playing the guitar, or a seal playing the bass guitar, or singing, something like that. At this stage, let's put like a little wobbly line under there, so that's like the shadow of the whole thing, because we've got to put the legs on these drums now, and we'll know where to stop if we've got that line underneath the whole thing. Now don't go all the way down with this, because it has got like a little tripod, like three legs coming off it, and they join up again. If we've got a join in those bars, we just put a little black dot in it. It saves a lot of detail drawing it, but it does look like it's joined in some way. And there you can just go down to that bottom line again. So it's not like us to be drawing lots of straight lines, but this is. Now put a line about there on this long drum, and then we can go behind, and then you can see inside that drum as well, which you'll see when we start shading in a minute. George, I hope you're having a go at this. He's joined us recently and is doing some fantastic work, so I'll be interested to see what you come up with here. On the bottom of that symbol there's another tripod, so it's all kind of lined up now, and we're starting to build up bits of detail, like a little dome on the top of that symbol, another one on the top of there, and that's like a little wing nut on the top, like a little M shape, so they can tighten the symbol onto the end of that bar, and that little line gives it a little bit of 3D and shows you the shape of the underside of it. What I'm doing now is adding more details. It's like the rim of the drum. Just add little rims on those drums. Same on there, and it soon starts to look like a quite detailed cartoon from the really basic lines we've had. Starts to look quite detailed. And if you're feeling like you've got a steady hand, you don't have to do it all in one go like me, but you can put a little circle inside there, and that's like the rim of that bass drum. And you can write any name you like, the name of the band, in the middle of that drum, and we're ready now for the character on top, whatever could be playing it. But here's the way to shade these. Press on at the edge and go lighter and lighter. Look, I'm pressing on at the edge and going lighter, and that's starting to look round because the light is catching the middle of that drum. And whatever colour you do it, just press on hard at the edges, going lighter and lighter towards the middle, and you'll find that it gets a really nice rounded look about it. It's a really nice effect. And your cartoon now is going from a really basic looking drawing to quite a nice little piece of artwork there. Bits of shading underneath that symbol there, and you're getting the shape of everything now. That's great. A little bit of shading underneath there just to show it's the inside. I'm pressing really heavily on there to show you that there's a lot of shadow in there. Not much light getting underneath there, so that's the inside of the drum, and you're getting a real 3D effect. That's looking okay. I'd like to see what yours is looking like, so send that into our Facebook group if you get a chance. Just a little bit of shading on the inside of that drum, but leave plenty of space, so if you've got a name to put on there, you can do. Now, any of our characters you can put behind this set of drums. I'm just running out of space at the top there, so I'll just move this camera a little bit so I can see what we're doing. That's it. So yeah, it can be any character. I'm just doing a really simple polar bear. But what I'm going to start with are the sunglasses, which is a straight line at the top, and underneath a little W shape, shading in the edges. Oscar, I hope you're having a go at this too, because you're doing really well at cartoons. You're following these steps really, really well. Okay, this is the nose. It's going to be a really simple shape, this, because I want to leave it to your imagination. You could put anything behind this set of drums, or a person with all the expressions we've worked on in the past. Have a look at the faces. There's the top of the polar bear's head. There's one of the rounded ears, like a C shape. We've drawn that a few times before if you've done the workshops. And here's a simple way of drawing these big paws. Before we draw any of the body or the neck or anything, I'm going to put these paws in, because then we can work around them. these are the main parts of the cartoon, because these are the focus is going to be on these. So it's like a little triangle with a little curved line underneath. Then you've got an oval and overlapping like that. Maybe 3 big fingers and a thumb. Can you see that? Got a big oval there. 1, 2, 3. So 3 big fingers and a thumb. Big paws. From there, we just do rough shapes of the arms coming down and the polar bear's neck. It's going to be hitting those drums so hard and fast that as long as you've got a rough shape of a face, that will do for your polar bear, because the main focus is on the drums. Not even a smile on his face. Look how cool he's looking. Amazing. So there's the neck carrying on down to the body. We're going to have his feet sticking out a little bit, getting completely carried away. Pity we can't hear him, but he's making a real racket. Just pop a couple of feet on the end. Really simple shapes. We've got our main bit of the drums, and I'd like to see what would be playing your drums. Go with a polar bear if you like, but have a look through our little collection of cartoons and see what you'd like to put behind these drums. There's the drumsticks, held on by his thumb and first finger. And like I say, we could make a band. We could have seals and penguins getting involved, walrus, anything you like. Just leave a comment what you'd like me to draw on next. I know you're always full of ideas. So lots of shades, lots of shadows. Be curious to see what Molly has done with this set of drums. Molly, you've been doing some great cartoons, and Jake as well. Some jaggedy little lines look like icebergs in the background, and you can have fun colouring these. The polar bear is largely white. The drum kit could be red, blue, whatever colour you want. Put loads of movement marks around it. You can go really mad with that. The snow's white, the icebergs are white. The drum kit's going to really stand out if you put some nice colour on there. Just bits of shading on the polar bear, and don't forget to sign it so everybody knows you've drawn it. So just to finish off, only little bits of shading on the polar bear. Could be a nice light blue or something. If you just do some little bits of shading on the icebergs or the snow, whatever, but it's going to be largely white. It's that drum kit that's really going to stand out. So send in your cartoon, let's see what you've done. And don't forget to give us a nice big thumbs up to let me know that you're out there and that you're enjoying the workshops, and leave a comment of what you'd like me to draw next, and we'll get working on that together.